When this story broke, many wondered when they'll hear from the other side of the camp. Well, this is their reply. The Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Ahmed Farouk, has dismissed corruption allegations by Dangote Group Chairman Aliko Dangote as wild, spurious and unfounded. In a personal statement, Farouk said he didn't authorize any earlier responses and would wait for a formal investigation rather than trade words publicly. Dangote had accused him of economic sabotage, alleging that regulatory actions were stalling local refining. The dispute began in July 2024 when Farouk questioned the quality of Dangote Refinery products, a claim Dangote refuted with independent test results. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Dangote Group has submitted a petition through his lawyer, Ogwu Onoja, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, to the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, accusing Mr. Farouk of corruption and financial impropriety. Now, to further discuss this, I'm joined by Barry Kingdom in the studio and Nekabari Anna, both legal practitioners. Nekabari Anna joins us virtually, but Barry Kingdom is here in the studio. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening, Nigerians.
And Mr. Anna, are you there? Let's be sure that we have you.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much for inviting me.
It's good to have you. Okay, so let me start with you, Mr. Kingdom. When this, how do I call it? When this story broke, for us, we call it a story. When it broke, there were a lot of people wondering, what's going on? Why now? What has happened? For something that started in 2014. What's your take?
Yes, what is going on now is further showmanship, and the people that were at the helm of affairs are people that are still at the helm of affairs of our downstream, mid and downstream petroleum sector. The corruption, that is embedded in the sector. This is the same Farouk, that presided over the subsidy, saga, that was shrouded in complicated, secrecy, and marred by corruption. The reason why, the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu removed fuel subsidy, and that is the reason Nigerians are suffering the way we are suffering. So in a very same climb, where things operate, where the rule of law operates, this man should have, by now step aside, to allow and give the independent corrupt practice, the adequate opportunity, to thoroughly investigate, the allegation by no other less person than Aliko Dangote himself, who is now a very big player in the industry. So the issue of Dangote allegation must not be swept under the carpet. That is why some of us in the civil society, we as lawyers in defense of democracy and the rights of all international, we have filed a suit, at the Federal High Court to compel the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to immediately suspend him. I mean, the authority chairman, the authority CEO, to suspend him immediately, so that to allow the ICPC free hand, to investigate, because the ICPC might need to come to the office, to investigate, certain files and all that, So it shows complicated security, it shows the show of shame, it shows how far corruption has dealt with us as Nigerians. And of course, you see the
Hugomo. Just hold on 1 second. Let me just bring in Nekabari. Nekabari, so there are those who believe that this is unnecessary, that Mr. Farouk is capable of paying for this. I mean, having spent over 30 years in the oil and gas industry and grown through the ranks to, being one of the general managers or managing directors at one of the subsidiaries of the NMDPRA, he's well able and capable of paying for this, of spending some amount of money to train his children. Would you doubt that?
Thank you very much for the question. It's important for us to emphasize that public commentators should approach a rather balanced approach when talking about some of these issues that affect the character and integrity of public office holders. First of all, there is a presumption of innocence. While I am not holding brief for Mr. Farouk, it's important for us to note that if my learned friend on the other side is asking that Mr. Farouk should resign because of the allegations made against him by the richest man in Africa, Aliko Dangote, that will be preposterous. Because it will also amount to asking the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to resign anytime somebody makes an allegation against him. Aliko Dangote has done the right thing in going ahead to to send a letter to the ICPC. But what gives me deep concern is the fact that if you send the petition to the ICPC, why are you publicizing it? It makes me feel that there is another agenda. Blackmail. Is blackmail playing itself here? Now, to your question, it's important for us to note that Mr. Farouk has spent over 30 years of his life in the petroleum industry. Let us not forget that having spent most of his life in the petroleum industry, there is no record to show that Mr. Farouk has not been engaged in any other form of business than being a civil servant strictly. As a civil servant, the law did not say you cannot do any other business. Let us please note that Dangote has said he is going to supply the necessary details to the ICPC. Nigerians will be waiting for him to supply those details to the ICPC. For now, I think, yes, please.
Nakabari, I just want to stop you somewhere there because you said the law doesn't allow civil servants to do any other business. I think the only thing that they are allowed to do as civil servants is farming. And if we want to go by that.
Even if we want to talk about farming, there is no record showing that Mr. Farouk is not a farmer.
Okay.
Yes, the law allows civil servants to do farming. And for record's sake, farming is big business.
Indeed.
It is important for us to just tarry a little. Let us wait a little for the investigation to take place instead of us to start taking sides and distracting the Nigerian Midstream, Downstream, Petroleum Authority from the laudable work that they have been doing.
Okay. All right.
Look, it's important for us. Let me just point out one point. It was easy for me to come to the point where we'll be having this virtual interview because of the effective supply chain management that the Nigerian Midstream, Downstream, Petroleum, the Regulatory Authority has put in place. Look, there have been lots of progress under Mr. Farouk. Yes, Mr. Farouk is not a perfect person, but has he made significant progress? Yes. Has a renewed hope agenda as it affects the liberalization of the petroleum industry worked? Yes. Let us note that still under the same Mr. Farouk, 83 companies have been awarded licenses to own their own refineries. Is Dangote's fight against Mr. Engineer Farouk likely trying to stall him from further liberalizing the sector? Is Dangote afraid of competition? Well, we do not know, but it's important for us to allow the investigation at the ICPC to roll out and let the law take its course.
Okay, so we're not exactly like trying to stop the investigation, but we just want to clarify on some things here and look at some things deeply. Now, one of the things you mentioned is that petition has been made public. I haven't seen a public petition yet. Have you, Barry, have you seen a public petition?
Yes, the counsel to Dangote addressed the press after submitting the petition to ICPC. So it is the content, that was published, as by the press, that such a petition has been submitted. Of course, such a petition having been submitted is not a public document, and we have applied and we've written a letter to, for certified true copy of the said petition. It's a public document that is with ICPC. So of course, it is subject to investigation. So we will be waiting for ICPC to reply and to tell us the reasons why they would either give us a certified true copy or why they would not give us certified true copy. But what we are saying in essence is that the code of conduct, for public officers, as contained in the fifth schedule of the Constitution, is very clear. In paragraph 1, no public officer should put himself in a position where his personal interest conflicts with his official duties. And of course, paragraph 3 is very clear, that no public officer, including the president, the vice president, governors and deputy, and every other public officers as established by the Act of the National Assembly, including Mr. Farouk, who is heading an agency, and Midstream and Downstream, should operate a foreign bank account. So this call for question: how did he pay the school fees, of his children? Did he pay it by virtual transfer, or is he operating a foreign bank account? Which is unconstitutional, by virtue of paragraph 3 of the fifth schedule of the 1999 Constitution, Code of Conduct for Public Office. And of course, there are things that are circumstantial. This man worked, all his life, for over 30 years, like my colleague said, in the oil and gas sector, in public institutions. He has not done any, we don't have any record of private business that he has done. He has not told us one or two companies where he's a managing director, or whether those companies are related to agriculture or whatever that the law did not prohibit. So how do you have that kind of money, over $7 million, to pay the school fees of your children abroad? Not other, that $7 million is not about the money he spend at home, eating or other things, or other expenditure. This is just school fees for his children. So how do the amount, acquire such humongous amount of money to spend on school fees alone? So it calls for thorough investigation, and that's why we are saying that in an ideal society, he should step aside, to allow for thorough investigation, so that ICPC will have free hand to investigate. He should step aside.
Barry, we will come back.
The president should suspend him, forthwith. That's what we are saying.
Okay, we will come back to this conversation, but we'll take a moment. I'll go on a quick break. We'll be back. Welcome back. I still have the two legal practitioners in the studio and one veteran with us for the 6th edition. Barry, before we went on that break, Barry had asked that Mr. Farouk, Engineer Farouk, should step aside, like it will be applicable in the saner environment. He should step aside so that he give room for adequate investigations. Do you agree with him?
I absolutely disagree with my learned friend on that. My learned friend knows that there is a presumption of innocence. When somebody is accused of a criminal offense, the law presumes him innocent. In fact, this presumption of innocence is not only in Nigeria, it's all over the world. It's the standard in criminal jurisprudence. He is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Mr. Farouk does not work for the ICPC. There is no way his suspension will benefit the ICPC. The ICPC will do their investigation. If Mr. Farouk is found to be interfering with the investigation, then there can be calls for him to be suspended or for him to step aside. But Mr. Farouk has said he's willing to subject himself to this investigation. So asking him to step aside is like double jeopardy. We should allow him to concentrate in doing the work the president has given him to do. We should concentrate on allowing him to build cleaner energy in Nigeria. We should concentrate on allowing him to continue to partner with stakeholders through the partners initiative that he has introduced. We should not remove Mr. Farouk at this time because of the regulations the Nigerian Midstream, Downstream, Petroleum Regulatory Authority is introducing for the safety, for the health of Nigeria, to make Nigeria a key player in renewable energy, in cleaner energy, in cleaner refining, and all of those things. Now, very soon, as someone who follows the system, I know very well that there's going to be lots of stakeholders engagement. The removal of Mr. Farouk at this time is going to seriously impact on that stakeholders engagement and affect the progress that this regulator is doing in the industry.
Okay, so
let all those who have concerns, let all those who have concerns come out and say the Nigerian Midstream, Downstream, Petroleum Regulatory Authority has not performed under Mr. Farouk. As a matter of fact, I know for a fact that every public office holder who performs very well is deeply criticized. That was how some time ago, some person said the minister for the FCT gave his son a land worth over 2,000 acres in Metama. I challenge anyone.
You're going somewhere else now. You're taking us to another matter. Nekabari, if we get into this,
available like that, it's important for us not to come on air and spread propaganda.
Nekabari,
let the ICPC do their jobs.
All right, so let's round off in this way in 20 seconds each. Nekabari had alleged that Mr. Dangote might be looking to slow down or truncate the emergence of more local refineries that have been given licenses. But you have said this is a necessary thing that he steps aside, and he said he shouldn't step aside. So in 30 seconds, and your closing statement, gentlemen, what should we do, beginning with you?
Well, first of all, I want to disagree with him. Yes, well, there's presumption of innocence. Presumption of innocence has to do with the trial in court, that you are presumed innocent before the court until you are proven guilty. That is to say, the court has not pronounced you guilty. It doesn't have to do with the practice or what is ideal in a sense society. Even in the society where Farouk Lawan has sent his children to go and study, in that kind of society, a man that is holding public office that cannot account for such huge amount of money to pay for a children's school fees abroad would have resigned within the next 24 hours of this allegation.
All right,
I mean,
thank you.
in the society where he has sent his own children to. So
All
it is only in Nigeria where corruption, is a reward, for those that are holding public office and that are also doing the bidding of certain interests that have placed them there. So what we are saying in essence is that whether presumption of innocence or no presumption of innocence, resigning to allow for a thorough investigation, ICPC may want to call for fines, may want to call for records of account to see how the agency has been managed. Remember, this is a man that mishandled subsidy. Under Farouk, they told us that they were paying over 18 million naira as daily subsidy for importation of petroleum products that were never imported in
But let's hear from the Kabari so that we'll go.
Marked that agency, and you are saying that there will not be any need for him to resign.
All right,
there
thank
is
you.
urgent need
Barry
for the president to
thank
suspend
you.
him.
Let's hear
so
from the Kabari and so that we'll go.
The
Kabari, please.
A thorough and independent, unbiased investigation. Because he might need to suppress information. He's the man that
I understand the passion my learned friend has about this, but I continue to insist that we should allow the law to take its course. Nigerians should be patient and allow the ICPC, that is currently headed by an eminent lawyer, to investigate the claims. Let us not conclude that Mr. Farouk is guilty because Aliko Dangote have said so. A day will come too when people will write things about Aliko Dangote, and are we going to say Aliko Dangote is guilty because someone has come to say so? Let us allow a fair, thorough, and unbiased investigation.
All right.
Who knows? At the end of the day, Engineer Farouk may be vindicated.
Thank you very much. I was speaking with Barry Kingdom and Nekabari, and both of them legal practitioners. Gentlemen, thank you for coming in this evening.